Hi, you guys. Welcome to January Forecast 2023. I thought it would be fun to use this space to bring in new information, new awareness, new thought and insight into helping you create the life that you absolutely want to live this year. It's a time right now where we all have new beginnings on top of mind. We're experiencing kind of the practices that we've adopted to welcome in the planning for the year. And sometimes in that planning, we can get so busy and all the things we want to do, we pile up all the intentions. We're not committed to any of them, and they begin to whittle away as the days tick on through the month of January. We find ourselves resolutionless. We find ourselves at the end of the year looking back going, I never stayed with that thing, right? And so I wanted to approach this reading, this forecast of monthly energy in a fresh new way. I wanted to bring forth my interpretation of the month and allow you to take what you want from it and leave the rest behind. I thought that coming to you monthly with these beautiful forecasts can help you get curious about other things that you're wanting to express, the deeper meaning you're wanting to follow, the breadcrumbs that may find you at the perfect time, and the words, the context, the information that is here for you exactly when you're needing to find it. So whether you're here with me now or watching replay, thank you for being here. So we begin January smack dab on the 1st in the letting go. Last month in December, we have been invited to let go of all the things that were no longer working, to find those areas within ourselves that, you know what, whether it's people, places, things, ideas, thought patterns, whatever it's been that has been keeping me kind of in loop, I'm being invited to let those go. And when I let them go, you get to experience some more freedom in the attachment, the condition, the expectation that went along with all of those things, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos. December really invited us to literally clear clutter and to physically clear clutter so we can make space for gathering, make space for time with family and friends, make space for what's most important and really identifying what that is. So as we land into January, we have this invitation the first 13 days of the month to be in what we know from the Book of Life, the spades on a regular playing deck of cards. We have the spades that are representing higher meaning, the hearts that are relationship. We've got the physical creations, our body, finances, our value, the experiences in the physical with the diamonds. And we also have all the intellect, the career, the purposeful expression through the clubs. You don't need to know any of that to enjoy this reading, but if you hear me referencing to some of these aspects, it's because each day on our calendar has an energetic influence. And through the lens of the numerology, the Book of Life, the Egyptian numerology, no matter what year it is, that day contract remains the same. And so you might have found, if you were to actually trace your steps back, I find Facebook, the reminders that come up annually, really good for that. What energy was I experiencing? What was going on in my life at that time? What kind of memories relate to something I'm feeling that exact same day? Those are really fun ways to kind of get used to that. But this time last year, right now, and this year, we've got the beautiful spades making an appearance as an invitation to help us raise our conscious awareness. And we're raising that conscious awareness beyond our current thinking, feeling, and experiences. There's this pull to want to experience more, something that we want to experience beyond our everyday existence. This higher purpose, this higher perception beyond what we've created in our physical environments has the opportunity to be gathering and inviting our attention right now, because we're being invited to discover deeper meaning. We're invited to discover it through people, through things, through experiences, through all of these aspects of our own world, but even more so being deeply invited to connect within ourselves. So the first few days of the month, we are invited to lead that mastery of our life, to nurture that inner wisdom, to be invited to higher thinking, to see if we're fulfilled Are we fulfilled with what we've been doing, how we've been being? And we land into today in this contract of Nine of Spades, and it's really inviting us to make that shift, end old cycles once again, take our thinking, feeling, experiencing higher in higher connection with our higher self, God, source, universe, spirit, in higher perception. There's always higher perception and higher love of what we're creating. We're never going to tap out on the frequency of love available, the energetic, unconditional, loving feeling of what we're creating in life. And we continue on through the end of this week and into the next, completing the cycle, experiencing opportunities to see the momentum of what we're wanting to create, as well as the momentum of where it's inviting us to take things higher. As we go into tomorrow, we might be feeling a lot of change, a lot of momentum of change. This, I'm not sure what it is making me feel this way, but I've got to do something different than I've been doing. 2023 is the year of you, the year of trusting you, the year of the truth and what you really want, the year that's taking you higher in experience and inviting you to have those leaps of faith. What is the dream that you've been putting off, wanting to create, finding yourself looking back on another year and haven't made forward progress in? You're invited to see things differently. You're invited to see things through a higher mindset, through like a 360-degree view. Bird on a perch, looking down and all around, however that looks, versus just one way of experiencing life, to broaden our experience, our perception, our integration, all of the things that create and invite us into feeling and experiencing our wholeness as we are now, healing any trauma or separation that may be showing and rearing its head to be released. So you can move that energy into more creation energy. What do you want to create in your relationships? What do you want to create in your physical experience? What do you want to create in your career? Are you making a career choice? Did you have this desire to go off and branch off on your own and start a business? What's pulling you at the pit of your tummy, so to speak? What is the inner pull forward towards something different where your mind wants to get involved and go, we don't do that. That's not what we've been doing. We need to stay the course. This is safe over here. The comfort zone, we don't want to go outside of that. So you're being invited to explore that. Next week, we'll bring in opportunities for us to experience even bigger transformation for our own personal insight, that inner wisdom, and profound awakenings to, you know what, I feel like I've been asleep for a while and all of a sudden the illusion's lifting. I can no longer not see, and it's requiring me to do something different. It will be more of a slow and steady wins the race. It's not going to be this full out sprint towards what you want. You have the time. This is the year to create the best laid plans and make the changes that are going to bring you the most thriving, fulfilling, happy, easeful life. And it's available even amidst the chaos, right? And sometimes we forget and we don't remember that we're not at the whim of the things that flip upside down. In fact, we can still have that stability, that strength, that inner power, that inner emotional mastery that helps move us through. So as we're experiencing this world in transition, we're experiencing us along the flow of that energetic consciousness in transition. And it's going to activate those areas within ourselves that are in transition that we haven't been paying attention to. So we land on the 14th into this beautiful experience of the diamonds. So now what are we wanting to lead and create in our life? We're going to be very aware of what has been created in this physical manifestation. So I love that this month has 3 opportunities for us to lead and master our life. Lead through higher perspective, lead through the physical experience, lead through higher mind. And it takes us through this journey, much like I started in the beginning, where then we nurture the inner knowing. We nurture the mothering, the ability to be our own nurturing system, to honor that feminine and the masculine, to honor the softness, the intuition, the higher connection with the masculine drive. and to find that harmony within. This entire month is leading us out of overwhelm and into mastery. And if we don't have or have not experienced either one of those, well, we've probably all experienced overwhelm. If we haven't experienced the mastery side of it, then we're going to be finding ourselves truly looking for more, right? And that's the invitation. So as these energies shift, we're having these invitations to interact in our own physical creations. We are amazing manifestors. We are constantly manifesting what we think of most, because what we think of most activates a feeling state that activates the Plancks and the fractals in the quantum realm in our energetic field that draw in likeness. They're like magnets that bring in exactly what we've been saying that we want, even if it's what I don't want. So when we come to this experience in the physical, we're able to understand and have this opportunity to go, hey, these thoughts of what I don't want aren't working for me. Let me be aware of my own inner chatter and move it to what I do want. Stop, refocus, and watch the manifestation of that in my physical world. So your thoughts and your beliefs, actually your thoughts, the ones that you think about most, end up becoming these embedded belief systems that embody into and ingrain into our being through emotion. There is no emotion or feeling without first having a thought, whether you're aware of it or not. The thought activates the feeling state, which activates the judgment, that feels good, that feels bad, which activates the emotional response, I don't ever want to feel that again, or I'd like more of that, please. And the things that we want more of, please, those are kind of easy, right? It's the ones that we don't want. And then we're in a world that tells us don't feel your emotions. And so we avoid it like the plague. We feel the discomfort. We don't move through it. We go Netflix it, dumb it, drug it, eat it. And we find ourselves creating something in our environment that supports a reflection of the habits and the behaviors and the beliefs that we've adopted. Now, this isn't a conversation of guilt and shame. This isn't a conversation of right or wrong. This is a conversation of becoming our best observer and taking that awareness into the next phase of acceptance. This is like moving through a divine timing cycle of transformation. Phase 1, awareness. Phase 2, acceptance. That's not always the easy one, right? That brings it back to us. Phase 3, personal responsibility. And then what? Sometimes so many programs we take in personal development stop us there, and now we're so hyper aware and we're taking all the responsibility that there's no balance in that. Well, the next phases are through activation. We activate more of what we do want. We shift the story, we rewrite the story, we move the mind, we collapse the trigger, we welcome the synchronicity, and we begin to create a new story. That was then. We break free from the past. This is now. We land into what we want to create more of. We're testing the waters. Do we want more? We keep going. Do we need to pivot? We pivot and keep going. We end up finishing that cycle in momentum, in the transmutation, that place where it's like, can't wait to be on the other side of that transformation. And we're maybe in that messy middle, but we keep going. And we find ourselves on the other side of transformation, integrated and looking back going, I can see where I used to respond that way in life. And I don't know about you, but before I fell into emotional mastery, personal development work, I was such a reactor, a finger pointer, a blamer, shaming myself, anywhere that I didn't have to look within me. And it wasn't working. Especially when it came to something I had a passion to share, something I really gave a darn about and I wanted to bring it to the world. I had to face all of those shadows to feel secure, stable, confident enough to move through the visibility of being seen, because I was so used to not seeing myself, deflecting and looking for everyone else to be the problem or the solution, that I had manifested that in my life. And we don't know what we don't know. So it worked well until it didn't, until I wanted something more. And that more drove me to become and awaken and open my perception beyond what I knew, because I couldn't keep going the same way. Maybe you're finding yourself there. So as we travel through that month, really keeping in mind what wants to change. We hit the 22nd amplifying change. Now we're going to either amplify the change of the anxiety and the worry, or we have the opportunity to move that with awareness into what do I love? What brings me freedom? What brings me play? How can I play more, bring more joy, have some adventure in my life? And that energetic expression has its own momentum that creates this beautiful vortex of peace that is ever expanding versus the anxiety, worry, powerless, I can't do anything, life's happening to me, right? And we've all been there. But truly, there are so many aspects of what we're experiencing that is for us to discover deeper layers of our own self, to remember who we are, right? And so noticing a busy world, I don't have time for friends, I don't have time for the things I want to do, I don't have this, I'm wearing my time, this busyness like a badge of honor. I mean, I did that. I actually thought it was really cool to be so busy. And then I wondered why I don't have friendships and why I don't have these connections and all these things. But that brought me to the awareness of what I wanted more of. Busy world, busy mind. What can we do to help ease the nervous system and the mind? They're connected. Right? Peaceful world, peaceful mind. The outer world is a reflection of the inner world, the inner chaos or the inner peace. What do you want to do about that? Because as the 27th comes in, we have this opportunity to lead with higher mind, to really start paying attention to the thoughts that we are having and how those thoughts play into our lifestyle, the nature of our belief systems, the career, our personal expression. Do you feel fully seen in your life, heard, understood? Do you have things to say? Do you want to communicate but don't feel safe to do so? Like in your body, it doesn't feel safe to speak up. Is there something you're wanting to create that has impact for your kids, for your business, for your community? This is the time to allow yourself to walk through that awareness in a new light, really checking in and getting curious. What are these belief systems and what are these shoulds, need tos, and have tos that I've adopted as my rules? And whose are they? Are they mine? Are they my parents? Have I actually been living life by someone else's beliefs without paying any attention? And so now I'm just the reflection of everyone else's should, need tos, and have tos. That's okay. We all find ourselves there. We all get lost through events in life. And we wake up one day and we're like, what would life be if I created it? Doesn't mean I have to give everything up that I have or change everything, but there's this and that moves in. I can do this and. What would it be beyond the and? For you, just for you. What's important to you? Your health, your connections, your relationships. It all begins in here. In here, right? The foundation of leading our life, being the main character in our life, being the writer and the rewriter and the editor of our life. No one's going to come do it for us. This year is going to show us it's up to us. We can trust ourselves. We can take that big leap. There's 3 opportunities to not only lead, but nurture and take ourselves higher, to let go and allow. What do we want to allow? What do we want to receive? The entire middle part of the month is also the time to receive. What are you receiving? How are you denying yourself the love you want to receive? The love of your money, the love of your friendships, the love of your relationships, the love of your home and your environment. What do you want to change? You can make the change. You can make the change even if it has nothing to do with your outer world. It begins in here and it begins to create more peace, more ease. You begin to learn that power that you have, that your mind is so powerful. And so often all we need to do is get out of our own way so the mind and the heart can do what they're intended to do. They're meant to heal. They're meant to thrive. And they know when we can bring the body and the mind into coherence, we can feel and experience the difference. And this is the basis for all the work that I do. What you think about, how you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, all begins with your thought. All begins with you. So This is an opportunity to affirm your vision for the future now, and know that you don't have to plan so far ahead. You can set that energetic intention and allow yourself to really, really create the plan around the vision that you have for your life. Not just one area, all the areas. What does it feel like in your body to let yourself dream bigger? What does it feel like to let yourself have everything you want? What does it feel like to be, do, and have instead of do, have, and be? You get to participate in the love, in the receiving, in the welcoming. In fact, your world may respond differently for you when you're prioritizing you, not putting you on the back burner. Hey, there's the universe calling. Hold on for a second. That's so funny. That rarely ever rings. So as we land into what we're letting go of in these 3 different aspects of opportunities this month, we also get to decide what we're filling it with. And that's the piece sometimes we so quickly forget. We clear out the space and then we're like, good, we cleared the space out. But we forget that we can fill it with more love, more compassion, more grace, more adventure, more excitement, more bliss. And what are the next steps that I need to do to create that? So I'd love to know how this lands for you. I can't wait to keep bringing you each month as things unfold and you can start looking back at how you've made those changes. You know, our mind thinks sometimes we make them all with really big changes. And the truth is micro changes, small changes every single day is what gets us where we want to go. But we must first know where we are to know the plan of where we're going to go ahead of time. In the future. And what I love is using numerology for personal and professional development. It allows us to be who we are, remember who we are, really be direct with the key codes, the blueprint in our own birth chart that allows us to collapse some of those triggers that much more quickly and land into that higher side, that higher perspective. Noticing where we attract people in our lives to help us see ourselves, to help us fulfill our purpose for being here, to understand what our purpose is, for being ourselves fully expressed. The numbers can help us so much in the remembering. And everything that happens to us in relationship to the law of correspondence is bringing us back to who we are. How are we corresponding with the events that are happening in our life? And the reflection of this, whether it's a month energy, whether it's diving into our own charts, can really bring us back home to ourselves, to the selves we forgot through the busyness of life, through the responsibilities, through the events where we may have known for a while and then got lost. So I'm going to welcome you and invite you to 2 opportunities to explore further, to kind of, if this information is feeling exciting to you, you're wanting to know a little bit more, the curiosity's brewing, there's 2 opportunities to take a journey with me. One of them is coming up on January 10th. It is the Envision 2023 workshop. It's 3 hours long, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. PST. And we're going to dive into what is that vision that you want to create for your future. Doesn't have to be perfect, but let's see what happens when you actually make that plan and walk away with a blueprint. And you get to experience yourself differently, deeply, and understand the truth that wants to birth forth this year. I'm going to guide you through some processes, some meditation, some experiences, conversation, and allow you space to really connect that with action steps to take with you. So I would love for you to message me privately in Vision if you want to know more about that. And I'm also inviting you to a summit that I'm a part of January 16th through the 20th. It is the Choose Your Best Life Summit. And we are going to be sharing with you so many different experiences that come through emotional mastery, through what we call mastering the brain game. We're going to be giving you experiences on how you can improve your life, not only for the future, but right now. Your business, your life, your money story, your health, all of it can be utilized through these tools. So come join me, my colleagues, and a beautiful group of humans who are going to be in Summit on panel discussions, as well as individual workshops. And if you want to know more about your numerology, you can come play with me on my specific workshop date, Thursday, 9 a.m. PST, where we'll dive in to some beautiful aspects of you through a numerological lens. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what questions you have, curiosities, and if you want to know more about the Summit link, message me Summit and I will provide that for you. I'd love to connect and get to know you more. Happy 2023. Here we go, taking big leaps. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye for now.